Hello and welcome to the 5-Minute Sound Designer, where I show you a cool new sound design technique in about 5 minutes. In today's video, we're going to be covering some of my favorite, very simple to execute techniques that all sound designers should know when they're making anything from monster growls to ambiances to gunshots to anything else that you'll be working on. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here we are in Logic Pro. But before we go on, I just want to let you know that all of the techniques we're going to be using apply to any piece of audio software. It can be Pro Tools, Reason, Audacity, Cakewalk, doesn't matter. Anything that you want to use, these apply. So, what we have here is the sound of two metal tubes scraping together that I recorded. And it sounds kind of like a sword sound, so I'll play it for you now. Sounds kind of neat. But what we're going to do first is one of my favorite techniques, and that's pitch shifting. So we're going to take the sound and pitch it up or pitch it down. And in this case, we're going to use Logic's stock pitch shifting plugin called Pitch Shifter appropriately, and pitch it down as far as it'll go. So 12 semitones down, and turn the mix up to 100%. So we can already tell that it's pitched a lot lower. But because we can only go down 12 semitones and I want to go lower, I'm just going to take this plugin and copy paste it twice, so we'll have 3 total down below itself. So now we have 3 pitch shifting plugins pitching this down quite a bit. So let's play it now. So it already has a different character and a different quality to it, and all we did was just pitch it down 12, 24, 36 semitones. So next up is another very common, very easy to use technique, and that's just taking a sound and reversing it. And to do that in Logic Pro, I just double click the sound, go down here to Functions, and hit Reverse. So now this sound is reversed, and I'll get rid of kind of the silence that we have here. So now the sound is pitch shifted down and reversed. And you can hear we have a very quiet kind of ringing bell-like build-up before it kind of hits this impact here. All right, cool. So next up is reverb. And for this purpose, what we're going to use is Logic Space Designer, but you can use any reverb plugin. And reverb is kind of like the fairy dust of the sound design world in that you can add it to basically anything and you'll get a very cool, sometimes unexpected result. So I'm using Space Designer here, tons of other reverb plugins out there. I have so many reverb plugins that I love to use. They all sound a little bit different, but in this case, we're just going to use a preset. Maybe a large space. Let's do a hall, and let's do a long reverb hall. What I'm going to do is turn the dry signal down and the wet up just a little bit, and now we'll hear what it sounds like. That's pretty cool. It already sounds very different, kind of a bell-like, dark effect, almost Bloodborne-y or Dark Souls-y. Very cool. So the last thing we're going to do is just time stretch this. So in Logic and basically every other DAW out there, you have some form of time shrinking or time stretching that allows you to take a sound or piece of music or whatever and stretch it or shrink it over time. So what we're going to do is use this flex time function here and use what's known as the tempophone stretching algorithm. There are a whole bunch of others that do different things, but we're going to use tempophone in this case. I'm going to take the sound, I'm just going to stretch it out. So you can see that waveform getting longer and longer. Now let's hear it. So now the buildup is just a little bit longer, and we have this impact kind of being stretched out just a little bit further. Now if I stretch this out even more, let's hear what it sounds like. Very, very cool. So all we did was take this sound, pitch shift it down, added some reverb, and reversed it. And now we have something completely different to what we started with. So using these techniques, pitch shifting, reversing, reverb, and time stretching, you can get some really cool results out of very simple sound effects that you can basically record anywhere. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.